Hello, traders. Welcome to another episode of our weekly Forex forecast. And just as it has been our tradition, we're gonna start with the DXY, and this is the daily chart for the DXY. After that, we're gonna be looking at EURUSD, GBPUSD, and finally USD All right. Also, I do want to mention that probably you may be seeing me recording these videos on Mondays. And the reason for that is normally most of the opportunities we get really starts to come in from Tuesday. So I think analyzing the markets on Monday just gives us it just after seeing the price action, because Mondays normally set the pace for the week. All right, Mondays usually set the pace for the week. So again, so Mondays form kind of like the pace and gives us a good directional bias for the week. All right, so with that out of the way, let's just get started. So this is the price action that we are seeing on the DXY. And if you want to understand this price action, please do refer to the videos that have been the previous, I think, 2 to 3 videos. Okay. So with that being said, what we are following on the DXY is the fractal order flow. And as you can see, we did get that change of character to the upside. So the market pulled back to these order block. Let me just illustrate that. So this is the order block that I'm talking about. And as you can see, once we tapped into that order block, ideally, I would have preferred price to come to these refined order block. But we are reacting off of that, the bigger order block. And this is the reaction that we are getting, at least now from here, from this order block. What we should be expecting to see is a sustained move to the upside, maintaining the fractal order flow. Now, the fractal order flow, by maintaining the fractal order flow, what I mean is just to see more breaks of structure to the upside. Okay, so that is the fractal, or that is the order flow, and that is what I'm expecting to see with the DXY. So the DXY is bullish, and that is what we are following. If we go to the 1 hour, so this is the 1 hour. The one on the 1 hour, what we are following is the internal structure. So this is where we broke internal structure just to facilitate that daily fractal order flow. So we broke structure to the downside. So now my expectation is that just as we saw on the daily, I don't expect these to hold. All right. I don't expect this order flow, the bearish order flow, to hold. But if we do see a situation where that order flow is holding, that would mean that the DXY may be coming to the refined order block. Okay, so this is the refined order block. And if we can just activate that on the 1 hour, let's just see where that is. Okay, so this is the refined daily order block. And if this order flow, this 1 hour bearish order flow is to hold, then that would mean that we are coming to this order block. And this is the refined 1 hour order block that we should be taking our trades from. So right now, because the daily order flow obviously is the bigger order flow, and that is the order flow that we should be expecting to get respected. Okay, that is the order flow that we should be expecting to get respected. And that is why I'm telling you that it is possible that on the 1 hour, this order flow, this bearish order flow, the internal trend to get violated. And the reason why we broke structure to the downside, we were just facilitating that fractal pullback. And then on from this level, because this is where we have that order block. The daily order block is starting from, I think, this level. So from that level, we can expect to see the market pushing all the way to the upside and violating the internal trend. Okay, so that is the price action on the daily right now. Depending on her on a variety of factors, depending on what the price action that we'll get from this level, that will tell us whether or not to trade to the downside, or whether these internal protected high will get violated. And just to note, this is the true order block and this is the refined order block. All right, so let's just wait and see the price action that will ensue, or the price action that we're gonna get from that level. So if we go to Euro USD, now Euro USD, just delete that. Euro USD, this is the order flow that we are getting, just like the DXY. We did, Euro USD is just an inverted chart for the DXY. So we did get that change of character to the downside. Now, once you got that change of character, our expectation is for price to pull back into an area of value, and our area of value should be this refined order block, the supply order block. But the true order block starts from that. Okay, starts from that. And as you can see, price actually did manage to come all the way to that, retest that order block. But ideally, we do want to see price actually coming into the refined zone. So if we move to the 1 hour, let's just see the price action on the 1 hour. As you can see, we did have that refined 1 hour zone, and this is actually a 15 minutes or a 5 minute order block. I think, yeah, 15 minutes order block. I did give this trade idea. Sorry, I did give a breakdown of this trade idea on my last video. Please just go ahead and watch that video. You'll get a lot of insight from it. So our expectation is that from this block, we may see actually price actually moving all the way to the downside, maintaining the order flow, the swing order flow. But here's the thing with Euro USD, and this is something that we are not seeing on the DXY. Remember, the Euro USD chart has a defined swing structure, unlike the DXY, which doesn't have a defined swing structure on the 1 hour. The swing structure on the DXY is all the way to the upside, I think somewhere around that level. Okay, but on the Euro USD, what we are seeing is that it has a very well defined swing structure, and we broke that swing structure to the downside. Now, that has been maintained. You can see even the internal, the dashed lines just show the internal structure. As you can see, we did break, it was bearish, but we did break the internal structure to the upside, meaning that right now we switched from bearish order flow to bullish order flow. Okay, so we did switch our internal structure from bearish to bullish. So what does that mean? I saw an opportunity and I did capitalize on that again. To go and watch the previous video, or the video that I just released it today. So what can we expect? So we did break structure to the upside. Our expectation was that price will pull back. Our expectation is that price will pull back. So our expectation is that price will pull back to form that higher low, because right now we did put in a higher high. We need to put in a higher low and then continue in that fashion until we mitigate or we come into the we come into the premium prices of the swing range. All right. So if we are just to measure that, let's just measure that. Just a minute. So let's just measure that. So this is the swing high, and this is the swing low. And as you can see, price has already made its way to the 50% of that range. So it wouldn't be a surprise for me if we actually did start getting those lower prices targeting what? Targeting this 1 hourly low. All right. So it wouldn't be surprise if we actually never actually make it all the way to the upside. But with the way price or with the way that I know the price action, I think we may see price actually moving all the way to the upside because of these imbalances that we are seeing right there. And also, it's important to note that we do have some liquidity levels to target. All right. So now from this order block, because this is the 4 hours order block, and as you can see, it has been respected quite well. As you can see, it has been respected quite well. So from that, we may expect to see price moving to the upside, targeting these imbalances right there. Okay, targeting that imbalances right there. And as you can see, we do have a nice order block that we can trade from. So now the order flow is to the upside. All right, maintaining the internal structure order flow. The order flow is to the upside. So let's just move to USDJPY and then we'll come to GBPUSD. So this is the daily chart for USDJPY. So this is the daily chart for USDJPY. Let's just delete that. So as you can see, we did change the trend to the downside, the swing trend to the downside. Now the internal trend also has been bearish. All right. So we did change character to the upside. If you don't understand this price action, I would highly recommend that you watch the weekly Forex forecast for last week and also the midweek analysis video. But anyway, we did change the fractal trend to the upside, which really meant that the internal pullback has begun. So we did, after changing, we did change the trend to the upside, tapping into our supply order block. And as you can see, we got that change of character to the downside, which really meant that that price action is really significant because it means that the internal, because what we are trading is the internal. So we got that change of character to the downside, which means that the internal pullback is over. Okay, that is what you need to understand until this high gets violated or until the fractal high gets violated. We should look for to trade to the downside. So if we move to the 1 hour, let's just see what the 1 hour has. As you can see, we did break the swing structure to the downside because USD JPY has a defined, very well defined swing structure, 1 hour swing structure, and we did break that swing structure to the downside. So just pay attention to the fact that as you can see, we were maintaining that swing order flow, but right now we did tap into that 1 hour supply order block, and then from that 1 hour supply order block you can see the reaction, the massive sell-off that we got, changing trend. It did change the trend from bullish order flow to bearish swing order flow. All right, so I just saw that we did change that, and then we tapped into this 1 hour demand order block, and then from that you can see the reaction that we are getting. Anyway, that it simply means that like I always say, once we change or once we break a form of structure, once we break structure, what we expect is a pullback. And right now we did break the swing structure to the downside. What we should be expecting is a pullback. And that is the pullback that we are getting to do what to put in a lower high. Okay. That is the price action. That is how you need to read price action. And this is the fashion that I'm talking about. So we broke structure to the upside. We were expecting to put in a higher low, but instead we broke structure to the downside. So our expectation is for price to put in a lower high and then continue to break this low in that fashion. Okay, that is how price moves. It moves in waves. So right now we are in that corrective wave coming into this supply level. So now from here, we can expect to see price actually making its way to the downside. And again, the way that you need to read prices is that we do have two levels we do have two levels. We have the discount level and we have the premium level. If you're selling, ideally you want to be selling in the premium prices, and anything above the 50% of this range is considered to be the premium prices. So we are just waiting for is for price to come to the premium prices, and then from here we can expect to sell the market. So that is how I'm looking to trade USDJPY. So I did get into some wonderful trade, I think around this area. I did manage to get a 3R, but you can watch that video. I put out that video today. So let's just move to GBPUSD, and I'm not liking GBPUSD at all, simply because, and I'll explain. As you can see, we did come into this supply order book. If you don't understand this price action, please go to my previous videos. So we did come into this supply block, and you can see the reaction that we got. We did get that change of character to the downside. But then almost immediately, you can see that we got another change of character to the upside. So once we get two changes of characters, that tells me that that market is kind of stuck in a range. And that is the sort of price action that I don't want to see. Okay. But is it tradable? Yes, it is tradable. You can find some good trading opportunities. But for me, I chose to stay out of this market. That is why I decided to do GBP USD as the last pair. So if you go to the 1 hour, as you can see again, we broke internal structure to the downside. And by the way, the 1 hour, we are following the internal structure, not the swing structure. So we did start off quite nicely, breaking structures to the downside. But as you can see, we broke structure to the upside, and then we broke it to the downside, and then broke it to the upside. So right now, I consider these kind of GBP USD is kind of stuck in a range. It's sort of the price action that I don't want to see. I want to see clear, decisive price action on any pair that I want to trade. And that is why I've decided to stay out of GBP USD. Again, also, if you look at the fractal structure, we broke fractal structure to the upside. And then almost immediately, we broke it to the downside. So at least I want to see price moving consistently in one direction for me to consider that pair tradable. And for now, GBP USD is really not giving good vibes. Okay, because overall we are just stuck in between this high and these lows. Okay, this high and that low. Is it tradable? Yes, you may find a good trading opportunity, but for me, I want to, my edge doesn't allow me to trade these sort of market environments. So, but as you can see, if we are to trade this, the internal order flows to the upside. We came into this demand order block, tap into it nicely, and as you can see, the reaction that we are getting from that order block. So let's just wait and see whether we get that change of character. If we get that change of character, that would mean that or the way that I would trade that is just to wait for price to pull back into an area of value, and then from there, just continue to buy. So that is it for this video. I hope to see you on the next one, which I think will be our midweek analysis video. So until next time, bye bye.